What is up, guys? We have another game going on, this time on Hades Pawns. Almost the same teams this time. I included Jazz Cash. He's pretty high level, 44, player from UK, very high rank. We're going to see how this goes. Jazz Cash is on team with Professor Bar, Colette, Dillingers, Elthalor, Neptunio, Nilsson, and Raiko. Going up against Mama's Boy Toy, Dave TB, Acer, Hawks, Z, Cat Cafe, Choice, and Kaliez. Some new nationalities that we see here. Gonna be a pretty interesting game here. We can opt for seaplanes, some bombers like we usually see, and could be even nukes. Getting these ticks in, Mom's Boy Toy, trying to raid the economy as much as possible early on. Have in mind, just one light laser turret can deal with those easily, but we're just letting units flow through and damage the economy more and more. Hawks getting an aggressive position here, getting his commander out as soon as possible. Same thing happening for Colette and Dillingers, as well as Professor Bar. Jezcash just being a bit behind him, but that is still fine. Professor Bar trying to get aggressive position on D here. Choice opting for vehicles, which is very good. Could come up with a forward bot lab. We keep seeing those. This is pretty good for controlling. Just massive production of T1 units. Even though an enemy has T2 units, you can easily deal with it if you have overwhelming amount of T1 units. Incisors, not the greatest unit from Cortex, but it is a light tank and it can do a good amount of damage. It has pretty good range, good DPS. Lasers not missing too often, so that is a pretty good tank to begin with, but not to keep producing. Raiko getting rid of that Grave Robber early on, which is pretty good, stopping Dave from getting any additional energy. Trying to seize this flank spot so that it does not get... So Dave does not produce any units to go through water. He does not have a vehicle lab, no amphibious units, only like a Thistle, which is just a basic anti-air unit from a Cortex bot lab. Getting this turret destroyed, pushing Raiko out of position, maybe even trying to force a commander trade. This could be a three-way commander trade, which would be good for the Eastern team actually, but we'll see what is going on there. Choice getting some artillery, raining down fire on Colette's position. We have Commander Explosion. Who was that from? Professor Bar and Jazz Cash are still here, so that could be Z that lost his commander, and that is true. They're gonna scramble and try and take hold of this position. Kaliez should have went forward and just degunned this commander, but it is gonna get absorbed, and that is gonna be 2,000 metal split up between Professor Bar and Jazz Cash. Pretty bad to see, losing a commander early on. Kaliez getting his commander back, but that is not the greatest decision. You should... Z wanted a fast game. I guess so. Well, Kaliez has to keep his commander here on the front line, but they are kind of in a problem here. Top lane already losing a lot of control. These aggravators just pushing through, grunts as well. Kaliez does not have enough energy to keep producing these defenses. These defenses will not help against these aggravators. He's forced to go back. Some incisors from Z here, but not the most ideal units. Some artillery fire starting to come in, but Jazz Cash is closing in. He knows the opportunity is there, seizes it, completely destroys the forward position of Kaliez and Z. This Pounder could do some damage, but may or may not, as it gets destroyed by these rocket turrets. This is very bad. We already see units flowing through from Jazz Cash and Professor Bar. That could be the deciding moment. That commander going down for Z is pretty catastrophic. These units are just going to do drive-bys now, destroy economy, and try and destroy Z's base, actually. This is pretty good. Aggravators do a lot of damage to buildings, so we may see this vehicle plant going down. It's pretty problematic. Kaliez trying to make a line further back, but we have some tanks coming in from Choice, trying to take hold of the position, but we see a lot of these metal extractors not being taken by Acer nor Mom's Boy Toy. Finally getting him constructed by Choice. But Choice is just trying to stop this damage from coming in. Jazz Cash put his commander in Z's base. This is not the greatest thing. You can see he's making even some anti-air. He's ready for everything. Mom's Boy Toy forced to get his commander there. Maybe even Commander Bomb. But yeah, he sees the anti-air coming up, so he's not going to opt for that. It is pretty catastrophic for a topside already. 7 minutes into the game. Getting some bombers. Mom's Boy Toy. Gonna rain down fire on Jazz Cash's base, but getting that turret destroyed, but there is another one here, and another being constructed. So Mom's Boy Toy is not gonna do a lot of damage here, just destroying the economy. Not crippling it in any way whatsoever. Villagers queued up a lot of those tidal generators, which are only 15 energy. Not sure if that's worth it. Jazz Cash getting shot by Choice's tanks. Still a lot of HP, nothing to worry about. And what is going on here? Kaliez losing his commander completely and his base. This is pretty catastrophic. Not the greatest composition to put Kaliez along with Z here. Should have been stronger players, but they did not know who they were up against. And this is pretty bad. Professor Bar and Jazz Cash are just going to snowball this game. This is not what you like to see. Choice being forced to put his commander back, leaving mid open in the meanwhile, and this is pretty much GG's. Yep, pretty much that commander forfeit from Z was, I think, was what started this catastrophe, but we have a lot more units just flanking from all sides by Jazz Cash. If Choice gets his commander destroyed here, this is going to be GG's. I mean, it probably very well is already. Have a lot of units flowing through from Colette. Mid is not being held, so everyone is under fire right now. Choice's base on the way to get completely destroyed. Professor Bar and Jazz Cash just flanking from every position. This is not great. Mom's Boy Toy trying to recover, trying to get some sprinters in, some welders, but this is just beyond repair. All these players are just completely open to this destruction that came from top lane, but this grunt had a lot of XP. That is pretty unusual to see, but yeah, Mom's Boy Toy's base is gonna go down here. Does not have production, and we already see a forfeit from Z. It's a pretty bad game from Z, but you know, this happens. You're only just human. Not sure what he was trying to pull off with this commander here, but it pretty much ended the game for the entire team. These tanks are getting stopped, but who's this commander? This could be Jazz Cash or Professor Bar. This is actually Choice's commander. Oh, that is pretty bad. Actually, Professor Bar and Jazz Cash still keeping their commanders alive. And this is just over. Pretty fast game. Nothing else to see there. Acer trying to push mid with these pounders, but we have shurikens coming from Raiko. Just gonna keep them stunned while the units move in and clean them up. This is in no way a fair game since the moment that commander went down. Professor Bar and Jazz Cash just solidifying their hold in this top side, moving in towards Mom's Boy Toy. Mom's Boy Toy leaves the game. He knows it's pretty much over. There's nothing that he can do to keep a hold on his base here, and this should very well be a resign. There's nothing to do here. Their top side is completely open, getting completely dominated, and this was just a very, very quick game. Unfortunately, you should never throw your commander away like that. He's the strongest frontline unit that you have until T2, and we see the cause and effect of that. Forfeit comes through. Very, very fast game. Very good dual lane from Professor Bar and Jazz Cash. That was pretty unfortunate. Hope Z sees this and reflects on his mistake, but overall, yep, that was it for this map on Hades Ponds. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next one.